It's time now for County-Wide, a presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. You'll hear about the interesting issues and happenings that affect all our lives. Here's today's County-Wide.
Well, good day and welcome to the County-Wide. I'm Brad Miller, and we're happy to welcome into studio today, talking about a big event coming up just a couple of days away this weekend. Saturday, the 7th annual Verde Valley Comic Expo, and what a fun event it is. I was there last year and thought it was terrific, and it sounds like it'll be even bigger and better this year. To talk about that, Jack Teal is here, John Stabe, and they're kind of point men on things happening at and through the library, including the Comic Expo. We'll talk about some other events coming up on the calendar pretty quickly, but guys, good morning. Thanks for coming in.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Good to see you. I know you're busy this week, kind of getting everything ready. This event, John, is pretty big. I mean, it's become really kind of a marquee event on the calendar of things that happen at the library, rec center, and the city facility.
Yeah, City of Cottonwood and the Cottonwood Public Library. You know, we planned this event with the Cottonwood Public Library. We have about 70 vendors coming in.
Really?
It's just going to be just north of 70 vendors. We're very excited. We got some special guests coming in. Latique Curry, J Photos is going to be there as well. We also have Kevin Colston, and we have some of his books on our shelves at the library, and he's also going to do a class for the kids at 11 a.m., and it's going to be how to draw and stuff like that, so very, very exciting.
Okay. It's funny, guys, when we talk about comics, you know, there's like old farts like me, you think of comic books in one way or another, Superman, Spider-Man, and just the comic books, but it's become a whole different thing, hasn't it, Jack, with anime and the cosplay. There's a lot of folks that attend dressed up as their favorite characters from many different kinds of fictional worlds, be they comic books, TV shows, and so on. It sounds like this event really welcomes all of that kind of diversity and different kinds of thinking.
Yeah, absolutely. John and the entire library team and all of our partners on this have really done a fantastic job of making sure this event is inclusive of everything. So a lot of the times you think of comics as animated things too. Yeah. But I mean, I'm a huge Big Bang fan, and that ties into comics too. So maybe dress up as Sheldon, throw some bazingas out there. You never know what you're going to get when you do these comic expos.
If we can nerd it up a little way, and I say that being a lifelong nerd, it's a lot of fun for a lot of people, and especially the kids, but a lot of grown-ups are going to have a good time at this event too. When we say vendors, John, what are we're talking like folks that are bring their own kind of artworks and things like that?
Yeah, so we have some comic book vendors, like Cab Comics is going to be there, Hustle Squad Comics as well, Flat Mountain Publishing. We do have some authors as well. There's some sci-fi writers, stuff like that. There's also like sci-fi cards. I think he deals in a lot of like Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, stuff like that. Okay. He'll be there. It's a lot of just, you know, it's everything, you know, like you said, anime, video games, comic books, all that. Like, pretty sure, again, we're going to have the 501 First there again. They're the Stormtrooper cosplayers that come
those
out.
Guys are so popular.
Yeah. Oh, they were so popular.
Oh, boy.
So they're going to be, I'm pretty sure they'll be here again as well. Ghostbusters again, they'll be out in their gear and stuff like that.
Okay, that's cool. That's a lot of fun. That's the kids' eyes go to those Star Wars Stormtrooper.
Oh yeah, they love them.
Costumes right away. Popular amongst everybody, young and old. And then the Ghostbusters last year made a splash, and I think they're Arizona guys, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Yep.
Some kind of sort of local, local fellas. All right, now this is 10 to 5. There is an admission, but there's part of this is going to be also kind of aimed toward shoring up some food bank too. How does that work?
Yeah, so admission's $5, and that's anyone 10 and older, $5. Kids 10 and under get free. But if you bring in like a 2 canned food donation, doesn't have to be canned food exactly, boxes, you know, whatever, but just 2 non-perishable items, 2 of those items. We're going to knock $2 off the price, and you'll get in for $3. Okay,
well that's nice. That's kind of handy. Still affordable, family fun, and then I think kids is 10 and under.
10 and under free, and all the food is going to benefit Manzanita Outreach, and they're a huge supporter of the library as well. Okay. We have kids come in after school, stuff like that, and Manzanita Outreach, they give us boxes of snacks for those kids, so they have at least something to eat after school, and they're nourished up. So
great. That's what you want to hear. I mean, kids can't learn if they don't have their minds ready and ready to go, and a hungry tummy doesn't allow learning. So that's wonderful. The great work that the Manzanita and those folks do. Talk to me a little bit about I want to ask you the green screen. Is that back? God, that was huge last year.
Yep. It's going to make it'll be in a different location. So it's going to be, you'll enter through what we call the event hall, which is going to be that as you're walking up to the rec center. It's just going to be off to the left. There will be a door open tent. That's where you'll enter from. That's going to be an event hall. And then you'll kind of flow through, and they have that game room that's inside the rec center just there. It's kind of like that glass dome or bubble there at the middle there. The green screen will be in there, so stop in, get a photo. We have tons of great backgrounds for you to pose in front of, some sci-fi, some anime type ones, some comic book type ones, and then you can go on and mosey on into the vendor hall as well. Mosey on in.
We're on the country station. John is a local boy. Tell me, for folks who don't kind of understand the green screen, we think about it making science fiction movies where you can project different backgrounds.
Exactly.
And that's exactly like what a movie set would be.
Absolutely. So, we got a green screen a couple years back, and what we do is I set it up. I got a web camera pointed on that, and then I have a TV screen that you can see yourself on, and you can pick your various backgrounds. I think I have about 10 or 11 backgrounds to choose from, and then I'll take your photo in front of it, and then we put it up on our Facebook page so you can grab it.
And then it was everywhere. Last year, I think on Sunday, the day after the event, I'm looking at my Facebook, and every other friend that I have in the Verde Valley had been there, and they've got different kinds of things. Extraordinarily popular feature. There's going to be food vendors too, right?
Yep, we have 4 food truck vendors. I got Mad Honey, Caffeination Station, Sherry's Ice Cream, and Elote Vaquero Cowboy Corn Cart.
We'll mosey on out to
absolutely mosey on out. It's going to be a great time. Tons of food, tons of vendors.
And the weather's going to cooperate with us as well. Our sister station, the Q102.9, will be broadcasting. I'm not sure what time they're on the air. The time for the event is what?
The time for the event is 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Okay.
The queue will be out there from 10 to 1.
Okay, so the broadcast time is a little bit different. 10 o'clock is when it all starts. You can come on in, that low admission, bring the kids under 10 for free, and you're going to have a great time. The 7th annual Verde Valley is it Comic Book Expo or Comic Expo?
Comic Expo, the Verde Valley Comic Expo.
A little broader kind of definition. A lot of family fun, lots of things happening, and that's what you would expect to happen through the library, through the rec center, and through the services provided by the city of Cottonwood. And 2 of the guys that are out front on those various kinds of events and activities are with us today. It's countywide. We're going to take a short break. Our guests, John Stabe, Jack Teal, and more to come when we come back.
Life changes, then it changes again. Predicting the unexpected in life is impossible. That's why it's called unexpected. So when it comes to financial goals, our philosophy is don't predict, prepare. Hi, I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Matthias Sandoval. A job loss, change in health, or a loss of a loved one can have a big impact on your family's financial security. Let's work together to help make sure you're equipped for life's unexpected events. Call our office to schedule a face-to-face appointment.
Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Verde Solaire, your hometown heating, air conditioning, and plumbing company in the Verde Valley. And your trusted North Central Arizona Goodman dealer. Goodman is a name you can trust with the revolutionary Comfort Bridge technology factory installed into select Goodman gas furnaces and air handlers to ensure the entire system operates at peak energy efficient performance. Verde Solaire offers free in-home estimates, locally owned and operated since 1983. Visit them at verdesolaire.com. Better, cleaner, faster.
Let's talk. That's the message from Jonna Randall Murdoch, your local Farm Bureau agent, providing a personal touch when making insurance and financial decisions. Jonna will simplify your insurance needs while offering competitive pricing. Let's talk auto, home, life, and farm. Call Jonna at Farm Bureau today at 928-649-8686. Your Cottonwood Farm Bureau property and casualty insurance company. At Farm Bureau, they insure more than just farms.
Welcome back to the program. It is Countywide. Again, I'm Brad Miller, and with the city of Cottonwood, Jack Teal, John Staber here. First up, talking about the Comic Expo coming this Saturday, 10 to 5, at the city compound there at the rec center library area, and that's going to be a lot of fun. But that's just the start. As the weather warms up, Jack, things are going to start to happen more and more and more and more and more. We see activity at Riverfront Park. People are coming out, warming up, getting some sun and enjoying. And a big event coming up just another week down the road on March 30th is the, what do we call it? The eggs, what is it?
Cottonwood Easter Egg Extravaganza.
That's clever. I see what you did there. All right. Kind of an Easter-ish event for the family.
Yeah, so kids up to 8 years of age can come on out. It's at Riverfront Park. It'll take place on the adult softball complex. So we'll have each kind of field sectioned off based on the age, starting from 0 to 17 months, all the way up to your 7 and 8-year-olds. So each field's going to be designated for their own spot, and we'll allow the kids to come out, and we'll cover the fields with Easter eggs and candies and all sorts of stuff. You can win prizes, all sorts of fun down there. Free to attend. It's for Cottonwood residents, but it's for anybody in the community. So come on out, have a good time, and it'll be a blast down there.
And tell me again the hours on the Easter egg.
Yeah, so the event will start off at 10 a.m. We stagger the hunt times, so that way if you've got a kid in the younger bracket and the kid in the older age, you're able to make all of them. So we'll shoot
the 8-year-olds don't trample the 3-year-olds.
Yes,
You guys have made a good
We've learned some lessons over the year. One year I did chocolate on the field too, and that did not go over great.
It was the warmest day of the year, probably.
Yeah,
I hear you.
So we've learned some lessons. So we stagger the times. So it's 10 a.m. We'll start off on the first one. We'll work through, and as those ones are kind of winding down, we'll move over to the second section, allow a couple minutes for everybody to gather. We'll get going on that one, and we'll just go right through them.
Okay, plenty of space down there. Is parking an issue on a beautiful spring day?
Plenty of space. There is lots of actual paved parking between the two complexes.
Right.
If we get a big turnout, we have the backup parking in the overflow right next to the dog park. But get there early. Make sure you get some of that pavement parking.
Find out about it.
Should be good to go.
Okay, sounds great. Tell me a little bit, kind of a broader question. These events are popular. The Comic Expo's been going for a number of years now. The Easter time event too. Are there formal surveys of the community? How do you kind of gauge what's going to be on your calendar for the year? These popular programs.
Yeah, that's a great question. So a lot of these ones, they are just typical Parks and Recreation events that you have to do. So your Easter egg hunt, your 4th of July, those types of festivals, you're going to do those as part of a Parks and Recreation
common
function.
To any city the size of Cottonwood.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
And then the other ones, we absolutely listen to what the community wants. And so later this year, you will likely see a survey coming out asking, hey, what type of events does Cottonwood want now? We've had a lot of these on our list for 10, 20 years. Is there something new that we want to do? So we plan on doing that survey later in this year to gauge what the community wants and make sure we're hitting on those needs assessments. But we also use our master plan. So when we did the Parks and Recreation master plan in 2019, 2020, those questions were asked to the community as well. And so we try to check off the boxes that people want. And one of the biggest indicators of what people want is, do people show up? And if they don't show up, maybe you got to rethink what you're doing.
Yeah, we were part of, and have been for a long time. There's the Thunder Valley Rally, of course, is a big one, draws from around the state. And then some years, it's been a little while now since the Rhythm and Ribs. And I know that a big part of that, I think, was that they were kind of close together in the fall. And so it's kind of tough to have two big events like that. Just to get the attention of everybody and to get enough people to kind of come out to a similar types of events, but just what it must cost you guys.
Yeah.
Your staff. One time I was thinking about that. I thought, holy cow, think about it from that angle. That's got to be tricky.
Yeah, absolutely. And so this time of year, the March, April, May timeframe, it literally is nonstop every week, and we've got something going on. And whether it's a Parks and Recreation event, whether it's a library event, or whether it's just a community event we're helping with. So you have the Verde Valley Rally, which is the big motorcycle rally here. It is put on by private coordinators, but we help them. They use our facilities. We help create their maps. We help make sure they have their traffic controls, the special event permits, everything they need. So we're still involved in those. John and the library is always doing different programs going on. So it is a big staff effort to make these things go. But of course, that is our number one role, is to make sure the community has these things going on. That's what our services are for.
Yeah, it's incredible how it's like marching an army. There's just a lot of moving parts and a lot of different personalities and a lot of people like you guys that help that kind of happen. John, you're on the inside at the library, so talk to me a little bit about some of the things kind of going on there. I don't need necessarily service by service. Are there some new kind of exciting programs or offerings that are happening?
So we have our summer reading program that's going to be coming up June 3rd, and all proceeds from this Verde Valley Comic Expo, they go in to help fund our summer reading program and get prizes and stuff like that. So June 3rd, the kids, they're off school. summer reading program starts.
Right.
They read a certain amount of time per day. They log those. They get points, and at the end, they're able to get a prize and stuff like that. So it encourages like a healthy reading.
Yeah, kind of fun competition.
Yes, absolutely. And that too. People love to, see their name at the top of the list for those reading minutes. Yes.
I read a mom just kind of anecdotally said, "Oh, we're paying our kid $5 every time he finishes a book. I've lost $130, and he thinks I'm losing."
Right.
So sometimes little ones, they need to be encouraged to do that. I've seen programs, I don't know if in Cottonwood specifically, but around the Verde Valley, where you can read to like a dog. And this would be like for some kids, maybe you're having trouble with reading. And those Jack's nodding his head. You're familiar with this kind of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. Our youth center actually does that as well.
Okay.
So with the Cottonwood Youth Center, Miss Dana takes all of our kids up to the Humane Society on field trips. And so they get to interact with animals. They take them on walks, but we also do reading with those animals. So it's a program we do here.
Yeah.
I think I'm an old man, so I can remember kids in class. I was fortunate, but some kids really struggling with reading. A kid like that's not going to come to the library. He's not going to be interested in reading, and maybe for his whole life. You found ways unique and creative to encourage that, to offer programs that through parents or teachers or whatever, kids might find themselves in there, and it can be a new world. Mm-hmm. I mean, it really can break something open for them.
The library does. We have Pause to Read as well, and if you don't want to go with a group, you can. Our Pause to Read program allows you to just go in to a room with the dog, and the child can sit there and read as well, just by themselves. Their parents could be there to help encourage and stuff like that. So if they're maybe a bit nervous in a group setting or something like that, we have that option as well.
And a lot of kids are, a lot of grown-ups are, in doing those kinds of things. It's interesting. Where do those kinds of things come from? It just seems like keeping up with technology would be one thing, but keeping up with the kinds of demands and programs that are going to make a system like what we have in Cottonwood really hum. And I think anybody from this area certainly is going to recognize this, that Cottonwood and these kinds of things, be it Riverfront Park, be it the rec center, whatever, is really kind of that informational and even entertainment hub for, I live in Clarkdale. We've got a library, very nice. It doesn't have the programs like Cottonwood has. So you're really kind of a feeder community for a lot of the big outlying areas, folks in the county, the unincorporated areas. So it's bigger than just the city of Cottonwood. How do you keep pace?
Yeah, well, so as the community services director, it's my job and responsibility to make sure that we are filling the gaps that our community needs. Mm-hmm. And sometimes those aren't always apparent, and sometimes we just have to poke and prod until we figure out what it is. Other times, people just come right out and tell us, here's what we need.
Right.
And so it's my job to make sure we're trying to fill those gaps. One of the ways we do that is through continual education and training. So a lot of our library staff goes to the AZLA conference. The Parks and Recreation staff goes to the Parks and Recreation Conference and networking. So you go to all these different areas and say, hey, that's a cool program.
Yeah.
How can we do that? I was just up in Independence, Oregon, and I stopped by their library, and I was like, hey, these are a couple programs that I think are cool. I'm going to bring these back here and see if, one, we can integrate it, if there's a need for it, and how do we do it? So constantly looking around and just making sure you're prioritizing what does the city need and how do we fill those gaps?
And that's what I'm kind of trying to illustrate to the listeners, thinking and appreciating how much goes into that. It's constant learning to be able to help other people learn or move forward through the programs that we're going to see through the city, through the library. We need to take we need to take another break. Jack Teal, John Stabe here, City of Cottonwood, the Comic Expo coming up, the extravaganza fun coming up, and more on the calendar, too. We'll talk about it on Countywide when we come back right after this.
Life changes, then it changes again. Predicting the unexpected in life is impossible. That's why it's called unexpected. So when it comes to financial goals, our philosophy is don't predict, prepare. Hi, I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Matthias Sandoval. A job loss, change in health, or a loss of a loved one can have a big impact on your family's financial security. Let's work together to help make sure you're equipped for life's unexpected events. Call our office to schedule a face-to-face appointment.
Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Verde Solaire, your hometown heating, air conditioning, and plumbing company in the Verde Valley, and your trusted North Central Arizona Goodman dealer. Goodman is a name you can trust with the revolutionary Comfort Bridge technology factory installed into select Goodman gas furnaces and air handlers to ensure the entire system operates at peak energy efficient performance. Verde Solaire offers free in-home estimates, locally owned and operated since 1983. Visit them at verdesolaire.com. Better, cleaner, faster.
Let's talk. That's the message from Jonna Randall Murdoch, your local Farm Bureau agent, providing a personal touch when making insurance and financial decisions. Jonna will simplify your insurance needs while offering competitive pricing. Let's talk auto, home, life, and farm. Call Jonna at Farm Bureau today at 928-649-8686. Your Cottonwood Farm Bureau property and casualty insurance company. At Farm Bureau, they insure more than just farms.
And we come back to Countywide. John Stabe, Jack Teal here, talking about a number of things coming up quickly on the springtime calendar. City of Cottonwood providing so much activity, events, fun, and excitement. And it kicks off here in a couple of days, really 48 hours or so. From about now, the 7th annual Verde Valley Comic Expo is happening. John, you got sponsors that help make this thing happen.
Oh, yes, absolutely. It's such a huge part, and they help us make this event even bigger and better. State Farm agent Jen Griffin as presenting sponsor. She a huge supporter of our events and City of Cottonwood events as well.
Yeah.
Yavapai Broadcasting, you guys also helping us out, get this out on the air and make it a bigger and better event. DJ D-Bear, Verde Valley Ace Hardware, and Game On. Game On is a huge supporter of us as well. They donate for the summer reading program. They're donating miniature figures to paint at the event. So if you were interested in getting into Warhammer 40,000, I think it is 40K, they have miniature figure painting there as well.
Okay, good fit for comic.
Yes, absolutely.
It's a real good fit for there. Okay. Well, let's just kind of recap again the 7th annual Verde Valley Comic Expo, guys. When is Saturday? Times, admission. Tell me about that again.
Verde Valley Comic Expo this Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. $5 admission fee. If you bring 2 cans of food in, we'll knock a couple of dollars off, make it $3 to get in, and that food's going to go to benefit Manzanita Outreach.
Cool.
Kids 10 and under are free, and this all goes back in to help our summer reading program, which is going to kick off June 3rd, and the theme this year is Adventure Begins at Your Local Library.
Yes, it does. Adventure of all kinds happening real soon. Vendors, you said about 70 or so. That's great.
Yeah, about 70. We're just north of 70. We're going to have cosplayers, vendors, comic books, anime, board games, miniature figure painting. There's going to be a D&D basics too. So if you're interested in getting to know a D&D campaign with your friends, we're going to even have a D&D basics class coming up in the Comic Expo.
For the newbies.
Yes, absolutely.
That'll be fun. And then Jack, the Easter egg extravaganza coming up just on the heels of this event.
Yeah, so just back-to-back weekends. You got the Comic Expo 1. Follow that up next week with the Easter egg hunt, March 30th. Kicks off 10 a.m. Children up to 8. Come on out and have a good time.
Going to be a lot of fun. Is there a website, just to go to the city website or library? What's a good way to kind of find maybe a calendar of these and other events?
Yeah, so the best thing to do to catalog all these events now that the library is also involved, is we have the rec catalog, the Recreation Enrichment Catalog, on the Parks and Recreation website. And you can get to there by going cottonwoodaz.gov, navigate to the Parks and Recreation page, and you'll see that Recreation Enrichment Catalog. It's got all the programs for Parks and Recreation, all the programs for the library.
Perfect.
And then you can always reach out to us via our email, too.
Okay. Do you want to mention those?
So if you're interested in the Comic Expo or any library happenings, you can email me, J as in John, and then STAB as in Bravo, E as in Echo, at cottonwoodaz.gov. And you can shoot me an email, and happy to tell you about all the great programs, all the great stuff that's going on at the library.
Okay, sounds good. Guys, thank you so much. Jack Teal, John Stabe. We'll see you Saturday, 7th Annual Verde Valley Comic Expo. If we miss you there, or even if we don't, we'll see you at the Extravaganza coming up on March 30th, starting at 10. The little one's going to have fun, Riverfront Park, and doing that Easter Bunny type thing. I'm Brad Miller. It's Countywide, and we'll see you next time.
This has been Countywide. Listen in each Tuesday and Thursday at this time. If you have a topic or guest idea that you'd like to suggest, email us, news@myradioplace.com.